I'm not an epidemiologist. I don't understand these things. Just give us a sense, because I'm sure that people will be asking this at home. I certainly have over the last couple of days. We know, obviously, the original COVID-19, then the Alpha and Delta variants were clearly a lot more potent than what you'd expect from the common cold or the flu, which does hospitalise thousands of people every day in this country. Where are we in relation to the Omicron variant in terms of its severity relative to the kind of flu season that we would see normally at this time of the year?
Well, again, I think it's too early to make any sort of definitive statements. Okay, I think if you say that Delta was much more severe than flu, it resulted in many more hospitalizations and deaths within a year than flu would ever do in a normal seasonal epidemic year of influenza virus. Omicron is clearly less virulent than Delta, but it's difficult to say whether it's going to be less severe or more severe than an average flu year. I don't think we have the data yet. I think we've just got to wait and see. I mean, one of the problems we have at the moment is there are still around about 5 million people in the UK that haven't, for whatever reason, have not been vaccinated. And they're going to be particularly vulnerable to Omicron.
Interesting, though, that the symptoms definitely seem to have changed. Listening to, obviously, the people behind the ZOE COVID app saying that if you've got cold-like symptoms or flu-like symptoms, you've almost certainly contracted this new variant.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is very interesting. There was a study published a couple of weeks ago from Hong Kong which showed that the Omicron variant actually replicates more efficiently in the upper airways, whereas Delta goes deep into the lungs. So Omicron, if you like, that's good news because it's not causing such severe deep infections of the lung, which is associated with more severe disease. It's replicating and producing a lot of virus closer to the upper respiratory tract, which probably may explain why it's transmitted so efficiently, which is producing a lot of virus in the upper airways. And I think this change is associated with the many mutations that Omicron has over Delta, all these mutations in the spike protein. And it's kind of changed the way the virus infects cells, which cells types it infects efficiently, being more restricted in the upper airways, facilitating release of virus. And that might explain why it's causing less in the way of severe disease. So it's all due to the variant and the mutations that's changed this pathogenesis of the virus, the way it causes disease, which probably explains the change in symptoms we get now, which are more similar, if you like, to the common colds, like runny nose, sneezing, headaches, etc. Less so loss of smell and a hacking cough.